Glasgow has a great selection of stand-up comedy, and it's Wednesday night and we're at the GUU, where it's no exception. We're at their monthly comedy night. It's really cheap, as it's £3 for members and £4 for non-members, and tonight's headline act, Jimmy McGee.
Okay, welcome to the stage, Mr. Jimmy McGee! Hello, well.
What first got you interested in comedy?
What first got me interested in comedy? Comedians.
Yeah?
Watching them. I suppose when I grew up it was like Harry Enfield and sketch comedy and The Far Show and stuff like that. There was a lot of good British TV comedy. Not so much stand-ups, but then as you sort of get a bit older you start to realise that that's how most people start. They go into stand-up. So then I sort of became interested in stand-up in my late teens and sort of at uni.
How did you get onto the comedy circuit?
Years and years of doing really horrible pub gigs, playing to 3 men and a cat in a pub in North London for no money. You do that for a couple of years. You get time out, you look at all the gigs, you ring them up, you badger them, they put you in. You turn up, you do a few minutes. If you're not terrible, they'll have you back a couple of months later, and just gradually it just rolls on, and then one day you wake up 5 years later and you're in Glasgow University.
And what do you think it takes to be a good or great comedian?
I think you need to be prepared to give up quite a lot. The benefits are there. Everyone thinks it's a really glamorous, exciting job. They see it's turn up and think, oh, you do 20 minutes of work, you get paid, you get a free drink and what have you. And it is like that. But the flip side is that you lead a sort of weird nocturnal existence.
What advice could you give to Glasgow University students who are wanting to start doing stand-up?
Don't. No, obviously. I think you need to, there's no substitute. Stand-up's one of those weird things where there's no training courses. I mean, there are courses and stuff, and some of them are good, some of them are a bit shoddy. They're good because they get you on stage. The thing you have to do is just to get on stage and be in front of a group of people and go, oh, here are my jokes. That's the hardest thing, and you do that by finding a gig that will put you on and just doing it and just not worrying about, your first or your 10th or your 50th.
Okay, well, it's been great interviewing you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I'm here at the GU with Jen Bristow, who's going to be doing some comedy tonight as well. I'm just going to ask her a few questions. So, when did you first realise you were interested in comedy?
I don't know. I always liked showing off before I wanted to do stand-up. I just liked showing off, and so I thought I'd do acting, but then I realised you had to sort of work with really stupid people, so it kind of led to me doing stand-up, because I'm a control freak, so I like, I actually think I'm brilliant, and then when I work with other people I think, oh, you're not very good. So that's why I had to work with my own.
Alright.
That came across really bad, but it's really true. I remember my first gig, yeah, I do. I did it at university actually, and because it was in front of all my friends, everybody was like, yeah, you're really funny, yeah! And I was like, oh my god, I'm brilliant. And then I did a gig on the circuit and I died for about 2 years.
Who do you think is the funniest person you've either ever met or ever heard?
I think my mum is hilarious, but it's not on purpose, so I don't know if that counts.
And what do you think it takes to make a good comedian or a great comedian?
Really thick skin, because you have to go through so much rejection, and you have to go through, especially if you're a woman and going on stage, people will automatically go, oh yeah, there she goes, yeah, talking about her period. So you have to kind of get past that. To make people laugh. So you need to be very deluded, confident, thick-skinned, and single-minded. And if you're all of those things, you would be a great comic.
Well, thanks for that advice, and thank you for talking with us today.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a delight, and I hope that everybody out there has really learned a lot, because that's the most important thing when you're at university.
It's now Tuesday and we're at the Stand Comedy Club, where it's student night, so it's really cheap, just £1 entry for students. A new comedian's going to be showing us their stuff, so I can't wait to get inside and start asking them what it's all about.
such a slave to your brother. Baby, get shaky after school. There you go, there you. Baby, go crazy, break the rules.
Hi, I'm Jay, I work at The Stand, worked here for about 7 years. Do the teching, bit of bar, bit of managing. It's a comedy club, so I was going to advertise it to students. Tuesday night is Red Raw night, a lot of beginners come in. You'll also get to see more established comedians coming in, try out new material. Kevin Bridges has been in, Frankie Boyle comes in, tries out new material. Dylan Moran did 20 minutes last year, so you can catch some top class stuff for about £1 if you're a student.
Please, welcome to the stage, Mr. Anthony Murray!
Here to interview Anthony Murray. So when did you first show an interest in comedy and stand-up?
When I was at university, there was a comedy society, and I went to see them doing it, and they sucked, and I thought I could do that. That looks easy. Well, it doesn't look as hard as they're making it look, and I was right.
I was once given an invitation to a surprise birthday party being held for my twin sister. Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Did you first get on the comedy circuit?
As everyone does in Scotland, you just email The Stand, and you come and do the amateur night, and if it goes well or if it doesn't, they encourage you to do it again.
It's lovely to be here in Glasgow. I'm from Edinburgh originally. Yeah, let's get that out of the way. We have a lot of West Coast comedians come through to Edinburgh, and they slag us off for being a bunch of posh rich twats. There's probably 3 things I'd rather be than a Glaswegian, to be really honest.
How did you come up with your material and ideas for your stand-up?
A lot of the stuff I do is sort of like a 10% seed of truth. Like something will happen, and then I'll elaborate from that point onwards. So there might be like, I don't know, I see an old woman in the street fall over, and then I'm just making that up, but I don't have to bet about an old woman falling over. There's nothing funny about that at all. But you might see that and see other people's reactions to it, and then you spin a yarn out of that, or something like that.
I've become the subject of abuse from your sort of tracksuit clad Ned majority that fill Glasgow streets. Does anyone want to hazard a guess what metaphorical stone is thrown in my direction? What abuse I get? No, it's the hair. It's the hair. The hair is slightly curlier than the average man's. Something I'm aware of. You don't need to tell me after the show.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Greg Gallagher! Hello, Stan, how's it going?
Hi, I'm here with Greg Gallagher at The Stand, and I'm just going to ask him a couple of questions as well. So, what got you first interested in comedy?
I used to be in a band way back in the day, and in the like awkward silences between songs I would crack jokes and stuff, and I'd always been the cheeky kid in class who would have an answer for everything. And after the band like inevitably fell apart, and one of my friends just open mic night pushed me into going up on stage and cracking a few jokes, and sort of started from there.
You got any other students in tonight? Of course we do. I recognise that smell. Breathe it in. Cheap alcohol, stale vomit, shame. Bear maiden through.
Who's your favourite comedian?
There were a lot of really, really good comedians. I have to say, the one that made me laugh without fail is always Frankie Boyle. Like, saying that in Glasgow is a bit cliche, but he is just genuinely hilarious.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Up next, I can only describe to you as a vomit sprinkler. It looks a little bit like the attachment you get for hoses set to mist, except that doesn't smell like Smirnoff and kebab. Covered in vomit, her mum bursts in. What's going on here? She freaks out. I said, lady, calm down! You're gonna have to trust me. I'm a scientist. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Greg Gallagher. Thank you very much.
That was pretty funny. Do you think you're funny enough to do stand-up?
Well, I'm not sure. You know, I used to be in a comedy club at school, but I think I'm too shy.
I think that overqualifies you.
Yeah, maybe. So what do you think? Would you be
well,
good
my
to do?
parents always laughed at me when I said I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and they're not laughing now.
Well.
That's a joke.
Okay.
I went to a little better than I expected. In any case, no, I would be a terrible stand-up comedian. I'd freeze up and I'd just end up talking about like my bum for an hour. It'd be awful.
Oh, so I don't think you'd be a good one. So
I
maybe
think, yeah.
just like, don't do it.
Anyway, I'm sorry, but that's all we have time for this week.
But don't forget, you can watch all our programs on screens around campus as well as on our website, www.gas.tv. Bye!
Bye.